Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Cindy here from CLB Craft Creations with another card project for you in our 2016 holiday card series. This card is going to be another one-layer card, but it's got a little bit of extra embossing in it, and I'll explain that in just a second. But it features a non-Christmas stamp set. This is the Blooms and Wishes stamp set, and I'm going to be using this image right here, which I think would make a really pretty kind of like a berry wreath. And I'm also going to use my sentiment from the Christmas Pine set. Now both of these sets are currently on sale for 25% off until the end of the month. So that would be November 30th. So if you are interested in either of these, make sure that you pick them up when you can get them on sale, if you don't have them already. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you what I did. So my card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. While I had it in my paper trimmer, I had scored it at the 4 1/4, and then I moved that 4 1/4 score mark over to the right on my trimmer. So I moved it over so that it was at this 3/16 mark right here next to, it's the middle, or the medium length tick mark right before you get to the 1/2 inch, and I scored it. And then I moved the center score over to 1/2 inch, and I scored it. Flipped the cardstock around and did the same thing for the bottom. Okay, so that way it is equal distance from the top of the card to the first score mark as it is from the bottom of the card to that first score mark. Because if you try to do it just moving up the other end of the trimmer, it does not line up as nicely. So the marks are very difficult, and I think they're even smaller. So, okay, so what we're going to do now that I've got that, and I'm choosing to have my embossing on the raised edge on the outside. So I just flipped that around and I folded that up. I'm going to take, you can use any circle image that you want, but I'm taking the third largest of the stitched shapes circle, and I'm using that as my guide or my template. And what I'm doing is I'm centering that up in the middle of my card between my score marks, and I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm going to lightly trace the center of this framelit. Okay, now anything that is showing through the stamping, I will go back after the ink is dried and I will erase that. So I'm going to take my real red ink and I'm going to take my image, and I'm basically going to go around the circle and make a not a grapevine wreath, but a berry wreath. So I'm just going to start up here, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball the end of my berry assortment here with the line on my circle, and now I'm just going to move it a little bit over to the right, and again always making sure to line up the base of my stem on that line. It's going to help give a more uniform look. So as long as I keep that piece on the line and I angle the rest of my berries, it's just going to fall in a nice circle all the way around. So I'm just going to continue with that all the way around my circle. This card comes together actually really quickly. Okay. We're almost done. And of course, if you see spots where you think you need to add them, it's always a good opportunity to do second generation stamping. So then you would just stamp it again. It just kind of helps fill in any gaps without adding additional, without too much over stamping, if you will. Okay, and I'm just going to put that one in there. So there we go. So that's actually the majority of our stamping, and of course it looks like I got some extras on there from my block, but that's okay. I'm going to take, I'll show you a way to take care of those too, as long as they're dry by the time I do this. All right, now I'm going to take my sentiment, which is the Season of Joy, and I'm going to stamp that in chocolate chip. I thought that the early espresso was just a little too dark, so I wanted something warmer. I definitely wanted more of a chocolatey look, and I think that red and brown look really pretty together. So I'm just going to take this and, let me open this up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line my sentiment up with the top of that score mark, and you can't see that, but when you score yours, you will. I'm going to just, the top of that score mark and to the right side of my card, and just make sure that I've left enough space for it. Oh, that's so pretty. All right. Now, if you wanted to step it up a little bit and add some more dimension, then you certainly could actually put pearls on here or rhinestones, and you could color them with an alcohol marker if you wanted to add a little bit of depth to it. I'm going to take some of the gold twine, and I'm just going to take a mini glue dot. Get my glue dots out. Take a glue dot, and I'm just going to, and this is a double looped bow. Okay, I didn't get my glue dot. And I'm just going to stick this right here on the right hand side in the center, and then I can kind of fuss with it. And that's pretty much my card. Let me grab my white gel pen. So something you can do if it's on a white card base, you can take your white gel pen and you can just gently cover over any of the little splotches. Now, if they're big mistakes, then you can't really cover over those. But sometimes we just get a little bit on there, and no one would really be the wiser. So now you can see that I've pretty much covered up those red splotches, and now no one can tell. Now this one I will have to go back over after this dries a little bit and add some more. This one was a little bit bigger. This is actually a tip that I learned from Jennifer McGuire, who you would think doesn't actually ever make mistakes, but we all make little slips here and there. But there you go, it's completely covered over. Love it. All right, and then there is our finished card project. It's quick, simple, clean, definitely very clean, one layer card with a little added element with the embossing. And I don't know if I can get that so that you can actually see. There you go, you can see that edge. So that just adds a nice little texture to both the top and the bottom. And your recipient would definitely wonder how you did that. So I hope that you liked today's card project. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.